All right, today we are diving into a really critical upgrade in AI architecture. It's something that is making the models we use every single day so much smarter and, honestly, way more reliable. We're going inside what's called the single agent RAG router. But let's kick things off with a problem that I'm sure feels very familiar. You ask an AI a question that seems pretty simple, right? Like, what's 17 times 43? Or, hey, who won the big game last night? And what happens? It either gives you a totally wrong answer with complete confidence, or it just says, sorry, I don't know. Now, this isn't just some tiny glitch, it's a really fundamental limitation. And today, we're going to break down the architecture that's designed to fix it for good. So, to really get a handle on where AI is going, we first have to understand the limits of where it's been. Let's take a quick look at the old, traditional AI pipeline. Now, the classic system for this is called RAG, which stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. And you can think of it like a fixed assembly line. It doesn't matter what you ask it, it follows the exact same 3 steps every time. 1, it retrieves some information. 2, it augments the prompt with it. And 3, it generates an answer. It's rigid, it's sequential, and frankly, it's blind. And you know, this rigidity creates some serious problems. There's no thinking involved, absolutely no decision-making. It's kind of like a line cook who has exactly one recipe book and cannot go off script, ever. If your request needs a different book, or maybe just a little bit of common sense, the whole system just, well, it falls apart. So how in the world do we fix this inflexibility? Well, the solution is to bring in a new, totally game-changing element that takes control of the entire process. An intelligent agent. And that brings us to agentic RAG. So instead of that blind assembly line, we now have an AI agent that's basically acting as the brain. This agent analyzes your request, it understands the intent behind what you're asking, and then it dynamically decides the absolute best way to get you an answer. We've just replaced that line cook with a master chef who assesses the order and then delegates it to exactly the right specialist for the job. And that right there is the agent's core mission. To be an intelligent router, almost like a traffic cop for information. It doesn't just blindly grab data, it actually diagnoses the query and then sends it to the best possible tool. And this is a huge, huge shift. It means we're moving from just getting an answer to getting the right answer from the right source every single time. Okay, so let's really dive into this. We're going to pop the hood here and see the key components that give this system all of its power. So the system really just has 3 core parts. First, you've got the retrieval agent. That's the brain making all the decisions. Then you have the tool layer. Think of this as our team of specialists, all ready to get to work. And finally, you have the large language model, which takes all of those pieces and synthesizes them into a perfect human-readable answer. All right, let's meet our first specialist on the team, the calculator. Its job is super simple, but absolutely essential. It handles pure deterministic math. And this is so crucial. You see, LLMs are amazing with language, but because they work by just predicting the next most likely word, they are notoriously bad at math. They often hallucinate answers that are just plain wrong. By outsourcing calculations to a dedicated, simple tool, we completely eliminate these errors. And this isn't just about getting sums right. It's about building an AI that you can actually trust with factual data. Next up is our second specialist, the web search tool. This gives the AI a live, direct connection to the internet, right up to this very second. And this tool solves that infamous knowledge cutoff problem. An LLM's training data is frozen in time, right? Well, the web search tool breaks it out of that prison. This is what allows an AI to tell you about yesterday's stock market close or this morning's headlines. It transforms it from a static encyclopedia into a dynamic, real-time partner. And our third specialist is vector search. Now, this is the expert in searching through all of your internal, private, and domain-specific knowledge. You know, this is the tool that turns a generic AI into your AI. For a business, this is absolutely revolutionary. It means the AI can search your company's private technical documents, your customer support history, your internal wikis, and provide answers grounded in your specific world, not just public web data. It becomes a true subject matter expert instantly. So this new architecture is incredibly powerful. But, you know, like with any major upgrade, this newfound intelligence comes with a pretty important trade-off. And what's really fascinating here is the strategy behind it all. This isn't just a random collection of tools, it's a carefully designed system of, let's call them weakness compensators. Each tool is specifically chosen to plug a well-known hole in an LLM's natural abilities.
This creates a composite system that's far, far smarter and more reliable than any of its individual parts could ever be. And here it is, the core trade-off. On the one hand, you get much higher accuracy and relevance because the agent is making sure the right tool is always used for the job. But on the other hand, you get slightly higher latency. That extra reasoning step, where the agent is literally thinking about which tool to use, it takes a moment. So what you're doing is trading a little bit of speed for a whole lot more smarts.
So let's move on to our final section and look at how this architecture really points to the future of AI. Because this isn't just some clever hack, it represents a really fundamental shift. So here's the crucial point. We have officially moved beyond the era of that rigid, instruction-following assembly line. We are now in the world of dynamic, reasoning-based workflows. And for you, the user, this means the AI doesn't just feel like it's executing a command. It actually feels like it understands what you're trying to do. But even this advanced system has a ceiling. Remember our master chef, the single agent? Well, it's great at managing a handful of specialist tools. But what happens when you have 20 or 30 or 50 different tools and databases? Well, that single agent starts to get overwhelmed. It becomes a bottleneck, and its accuracy actually starts to go down. And that brilliant limitation leads us to the final, really provocative thought. If a single agent directing a small team of tools represents such a massive leap in capability, what on earth becomes possible when we start building systems where entire teams of specialized agents start managing and collaborating with each other?